Hey everybody, thanks for checking out today's NorthXshow Quickie, coming to you from I-29 a few miles south of Fargo, North Dakota. Got a lot to say today, and as usual, want to try and keep these short, so I may go over the 5 minutes, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Want to talk about the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. I hear that statement constantly, and it's been brought up quite a bit in the debates, and I think we got a real clear vision of what each side believes. I don't think it's ever been clearer than it is right now today, and it's got people whipped up into a frenzy. I had a Facebook conversation the other night with a guy I have no idea, never met him before, but we went back and forth pretty hard and heavy on this whole rich and poor thing. And I got to put this out there to you guys. I need to understand where some of you are coming from. Got a lot of friends on the other side of my political beliefs, and I understand where you're at with this whole rich and poor thing. And so let me tell you where I'm at, and I want you to explain to me where I'm wrong. Most of you people out there who listen to this know me, and you know I'm a pretty reasonable guy. I'm not a hard right-wing set in stone. I don't even call myself a Republican. I have conservative values. That's the best way I can describe myself. But I'm very open, and I'm not rock-headed when it comes to a lot of this stuff. So let me throw this out there to you. I've been really poor, and I've done really well in my life. When I was real young, first married, I was broke-ass poor. I had my electricity shut off, my gas shut off in the middle of winter. I used to heat water on a stove to take a bath so I could go to work. Okay, so I know, I've been on unemployment. I know that side of it. I'm not asking or trying to, paint myself as somebody who deserves your pity, because I'm not. This gave me character. This made me who I am today. Not that that's anything great, but it made me who I am. So I look at it as, yeah, it was bad, but I took some positive away from it. So I say that to say, I know what it's like to be poor when I was younger. I know what it's like to be poor right now. A lot of you may not know, my family's been in the big time hurt bag, and just as poor now as I was then. And I say that not to say anything other than I've seen both sides of it. And never in my life when I was poor was it ever because someone else was rich. So I don't understand the concept. I don't understand how the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Now, I understand government policies. I get all that stuff. I understand that the government can either stand in your way, or the government can make it so that things aren't like you think they should be. I get that thought process. But never in my life has the government been the reason why I was poor, or has the government been the reason why I was rich, or any president or any policies that were put in place. Nobody that ever became successful was ever the reason for me not being successful. Now, I understand there are rich people, and we can even talk about corporations too, but there are wealthy individuals who, I will grant you, got there on the cheat, that got there through dirty deeds. All right, I admit that. Just like there are a lot of poor people who are doing the dirty deeds and cheating the system. Okay, I know people like that too. So I think we can all agree that there's some cheating going on both ends of this scale. But in general, I need to understand how these two things affect each other. When a guy starts a business and becomes a multimillionaire, did he take that money from poor people? How are the poor getting screwed by the rich? I don't understand that concept. And I hear it over and over again. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. So you're saying that then the government, the president, the Congress, whoever is taking the money from poor people and making people rich by doing that? Is that what you're telling me? Corporations. Let's talk about corporations for a minute. Do you really think all corporations are just out to screw everybody? Because if that's what you believe, we have nothing to talk about. If you believe that corporations are intrinsically evil, then there's nothing I'm going to say that's going to ever change your mind. But at the same time, corporations provide jobs to people. Corporations are a bunch of people that work, whether it's manufacturing, whatever it is. Corporations are people. And so I try to understand you know, oh, government, all these tax loopholes. This is what this argument was that I got into with this guy. The government gives all these tax loopholes to these rich people. Okay, okay, fine. You may disagree with that. That's your place to be able to disagree with that. But tell me how that. So are you saying then that that gives the rich people an advantage that the poor people don't have? So what can the government do then to make it fair? That's what the president talks about. Give everybody a fair deal. I want to make sure everybody's got a fair shot. Level the playing field. Well, guess what, people? The playing field's not level, and it never will be. That's called life. Life's not fair. You think the government's going to somehow make it fair for us so everybody's got... You know what? Everybody does have opportunity. Everybody's got the opportunity to overcome whatever obstacle gets put in front of you. Whatever it is. We all have that opportunity, especially in America. They call it the land of opportunity for that reason. Yeah, the playing field may not be level. Some people may have advantages. Some people may come from money. Who knows? But is that a reason to say I can't make it because someone else can? I don't understand that concept. So, again, how is it that the poor are being disenfranchised by... Let me ask you this question. Did you ever turn down a raise? Did you ever give back a raise that you got? If you did well at your job and you got a, you know, dollar... Nope, I don't want... Who turns money down? Why would you... If you could get a house... for a really discounted price. Say you're in the real estate market and you want to buy a house, and that house appraises at $100,000, but you can get it for $80,000. Do you pay the $100,000 because that's the right thing to do, or do you take advantage of what's in place? So when you do that, are you hurting somebody else? Obviously, the seller is willing to sell it for $80,000. You're willing to pay $80,000. So everybody's happy. So how does it work on the other end when you're a wealthy individual and you're successful and you're taking advantage of the rules that are put in place for you? Now, obviously, I'm not talking about illegal things. That goes without saying. But do you really think that all the rich people in all of the United States are just sitting there rubbing their hands together trying to figure out how to take a buck from some guy who's making 20 grand a year? Really? That's what this is about? I think the two things have very little to do with each other than this. It's a way to drive a wedge between people. It's a way to make people like me and people like you, who are average Joe working guy, be envious of somebody who's successful and then vote for the guy who tells you he's going to stick it to that guy. That's the way I see it. That's how I look at it. I know there's a lot of you out there that don't see it that way. And I would like to have your input on that whole concept, because I don't understand where it's coming from. So there you go. It's real quick. I didn't get to say as much as I wanted to say because I'm way over my time. Excuse me. The cough is doing a little better thanks to my doctor putting me on some antibiotics. So maybe the hacking will be down in the episodes to come. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. It's northernexposureshow@gmail.com. That's the email. Always comment right here on Facebook. And let me know what you have to say about what I've just said here, or any of the other past episodes. And just a little quick self-promotion deal here. The Northern Exposure Show, the real show, the one where it's not just me rambling about politics, I'm holding my hands here. You see that? That much. That close to being ready to come back on the air and be back. I'm not sure if it'll be Saturday nights or Sundays. I'm still trying to decide when to do it. But I want all of you to hopefully come back and join the chat room and listen to us when we do get that thing fired back up and running. So, all right, not going to waste any more of your time. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you later.